Why do we do what we do? 10 times out of 10, it's because we want to be successful. We want to be happy, right? So let's dive in this video and helping you define your success. One of my favorite definition of success is by John Wooden. He was the head of the basketball coach team at UCLA in the US. Success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. Okay, one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite definition is that it incorporates the daily, grind, the daily work that you have to undertake to get to your success. So success doesn't really mean, like having those zeros in your bank account or the cars or the yacht or the Instagram life, how I call it. But it is, being satisfied of what you did on a daily basis, the effort that you put into. And I love that because it truly shows that it comes from the athlete mindset. So we cannot talk about success without talking about failures, right? So let's understand what's the definition of failure. In a concept framework, we understand success as being something good and failure as being something bad. However, our brain doesn't differentiate the two words, right? When we say success and failure, it's just the value that we allocate to each word, the emotions that we allocate to each word, the memory that we allocate to each word, that makes up the definition of the word in our brain. We tend to run towards one, and we tend to completely try to avoid the second one. If we take the definition of the Oxford Dictionary of the word failure is absence or lack of success. Okay, so to understand what failure means to you, you got to understand, what success means to you as well. For the past year, I've been truly working on reflecting and changing the definition of failure that I was making in my mind for the past few years, right? Because for me, failure was something really, really bad. And actually it caused so much stress and anxiety since I, didn't reach the goal that I set for myself, what success meant at that time. I was a failure, and failure was super, super bad. So it didn't help me, get back, on track and make sure that I take care of myself mentally and emotionally. I've been doing a lot of work, and today, for me, failure is part of the process. And there is one quote that I love so much that, it took me, I think, a few, months to really understand it, is by Thomas Edison. I haven't failed. I just found 10,000 ways that don't work. And when I read this definition, I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of the best narrative shift that you can do mindset wise for you to redefine what failure is. It's just part of the process. It's just a way that don't work. So don't sweat about it. Don't be stressed about it. Don't get anxiety about it. It's just part of the process. Find another way to get to your point. Now, where are we going? Let's define success. One way to get unstuck is to ask yourself questions. I mean, it's so, so powerful. Okay, the number one question is something very, very general, is how do I define success in my life? Okay, how does it look like? How is it gonna make me feel? So in this you describe, your experiences. What are the images that comes up? What are the sounds? Where are you? With whom are you? So this is very, very general. Take your time and, get creative. Just, be honest with yourself and just put it on paper. It's going to be so powerful to get all of these out of your head on paper. So it will give you a clear, idea, a clear image of what your success looks like. And the second question is, what are my strengths and weaknesses in terms of success-oriented practices? So in this part, you just gonna think about, okay, how can I get to my goal? What do I need to get to my goal? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my skills? With whom also can I work, towards my success definition? This question, I think, is super important because you're gonna get realistic, right? Because again, it's gonna be a day-to-day work. This is not wishful thinking. This is not the law of attraction where you're going to sit down under the sun and you're just going to visualize and it will come your way. So use these 2 questions to jumpstart your definition of success. Again, please don't skip that part because, again, it's so important. If you don't know where you're going, it's going to be very, very difficult to get there. If it's a moving target, you will always be dissatisfied of what you have because you never know what you truly want. Okay, now that we talked about success, I think awareness, right, is super important. And you can check out these videos about awareness, what it is, how you can develop it. Again, this is one of the must-have skill in your life, whether on a personal or on a professional level. To the next video, get focused, get clarity, and get started to live your best life. Bye.